Good morning. Welcome to my yoga class. My name's Emily, and I am teaching you from my front porch. This has been my favorite place to film. This is a yoga class, so the usual disclaimers, listen to your body, be mindful. If something hurts, be gentle, step out of it. The usual kind of stuff. But if you think, well, how do I know whether I should push past discomfort or not? And a good rule of thumb for that is if something hurts, if you feel stinging, zinging pain, that's usually a sign that you might be doing something to injure yourself. If something feels intense, then it might be okay to push yourself. Depending, but every day's different, every body's different, so only you can really answer that question. But I want to do a very gentle class today. I'm sorry I missed you guys last week. I had my tooth pulled out. But I'm feeling really good. I'm recovered, and now I'm ready to teach yoga again. But I want to teach a very gentle class today. And I'll stop talking and start teaching in a minute. But I just wanted to add one more thing. One of the reasons why I'm teaching these classes is, well, partly because I love teaching yoga and want to share it, but another reason is to help promote the club that I work at, Tahoma Athletic Club. They are still good. They were around before COVID, and they're committed to staying around after COVID. We just had a wonderful meeting and with my boss and with the owners. And they really want to be able to provide health and wellness to Maple Valley. And they're a wonderful, wonderful company to work for. And that's why I started teaching Facebook yoga, is because they invited me to do that. And they've been sponsoring me to do that. But moving forward, they got one of the loans because of the COVID, and moving forward, I'm going to be teaching classes as like on a volunteer and being on unemployment. And so if you are enjoying this class and you're not a member at Tahoma Athletic, I invite you to go to their Facebook page, and you can actually donate if you enjoy this class, or you can like this class, or you can just keep practicing for free, whatever your needs are. But I want you to know that I'm grateful for you, and I am grateful for the opportunity to teach. Okay, now I'll stop talking. I'll start teaching yoga. If I can set this up. Oops. I think I'm gonna put this. Oh shoot, I forgot my little camera stand. Okay, I'm gonna put you on my yoga block. I think that'll work. Sorry, you're getting a kind of gratuitous view of my chest here. Oops. There we go. So, all right, let's start out just sitting on our mats. See, yoga can be easy. We're just gonna sit on our mats and just breathe. So I invite you to sit up nice and tall in a position that's comfortable for you. If you need to sit in a chair, that's okay. I'm gonna just sit here on my mat on my front porch. You can cross your legs. See if you can sit up nice and tall, and just breathe. Now, I don't want you to worry, like, what does it mean to sit up tall and get all uncomfortable? Just sit in a way that's comfortable for you, and breathe. Nice deep breath in. Nice deep breath out. What a beautiful morning today here in Maple Valley. All right, now we're gonna do some other things. So I'm gonna start out, I like to start out my practice by twisting and stretching. So I'm gonna take my right arm up and twist over to the left, sitting up tall. Don't forget to keep breathing. All right, let's release, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Other arm up and then twist over to the other side. Nice deep breaths. Maybe notice how beautiful it is where you are. And if you notice a bunch of messy stuff in your house, try not to judge yourself too much. All right, coming back to center with your hands on your legs or anywhere else, we're just gonna circle around a little bit. This is one thing I like to do because I tend to get really stiff and tight. Still breathing. Nice circles here. All right, let's go the other direction. And I forgot my little tripod, but I don't want to spend half the class walking around looking for it because that's not why you're here. So we'll just do the best with not the best picture here. All right, now let's shrug the shoulders up as you inhale. And as you exhale, just release them down. Shrug them up. And now release them down. All right, one more time. Shrug it up. And now release. Isn't it amazing how just moving around a little bit can feel so good? All right, now we're gonna do some cat and cow stretches, and I'm gonna give you a few options for this. So one of the ways to do cat and cow stretches, it's two different stretches. We're gonna be moving back and forth between them. So for cat stretch, you kind of, or for cow stretch, you lean forward and think of like a sway back cow. And you're opening up through the chest, looking up, and I like to inhale here. And then as you exhale, it's cat stretch, and you round. And this will make more sense in the other position. So another way you can do this is on all fours. And here you get another shot of me. So I'm on all fours. I like to use rolled up towels under my knees because I'm not 16 anymore. And I'm on all fours here. And I'm gonna drop my belly, look up as I inhale, and then exhale round, chin to chest. This is called cat. It's because you're kind of like a scared cat. So moving back and forth, inhale, look up, exhale round. Inhale, and exhale. And if this isn't working on all fours, you can come back to seated and do the same stretch seated, but I'm gonna keep going on all fours. Inhale up, exhale round, look at your belly. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. right, now we're gonna do something else. So if you're sitting up, I want you to just kind of move around a little bit. If you're still on your hands and knees, just kind of shake your tail a little bit. Kind of go from side to side. And if you're wondering, why am I smiling? Like when someone pops up, I think of that person and then I smile. So hello, everybody that's joined me. And if I don't know you're joining me, hello to you too. So just shaking your tail back and forth. This feels really good to me. It shouldn't hurt. It should feel good to you too. If it doesn't, take a break. All right, so now we're gonna come into another pose called downward facing dog. So curl your toes under from here if you're seated. Now lift your knees up and then press back. Okay, so you're kind of in a pike here. I'm gonna start walking out here, pedaling my legs. Kind of like I'm on one of those old-fashioned Stairmasters. And this is where I like to play a little bit. I like to turn from side to side because I tend to get a lot of tension in my neck. And I like to nod my head here. Do what feels good for you. And keep breathing, please. All right, I'm gonna come to the top of my mat. You can tiptoe up, or like me, you can bend your knees and then tiptoe up. Or you can fly up like a ninja. All right, so I am in a forward fold now. If you need to, you can bend your knees. You can have your hands on your thighs, your shins. You can use a block here and hold on to a block. Okay, I'm gonna just use my left mat here. And I'm gonna continue nodding my head here a little bit, just to release all this tension that I tend to build up here. All right, now see if you can look from side to side. And now one more thing, we won't sit here forever. Circle your head around, just to release any tension. But if you're getting dizzy, you can come out of it. And other direction. Keep breathing. All right, I'm gonna stand up now. I'm gonna bend my knees and slowly roll all the way up. Open my shoulders, open my palms, and this is called mountain pose. Okay, so just standing here. Mountain pose is an active pose. You want your heart open, your palms open. You're lifting through the quadriceps and pulling in through the belly. There's some variation on that. All right, now I'm going to start moving again. Inhale, circle, sweep your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow, leading with the heart. Inhale, halfway lift, and you can use your block here. Exhale, release. Inhale, all the way up. And hands to heart center, coming back to home, coming back to mountain pose. All right, let's come into chair pose from here. So bringing both your feet together. Okay, your knees are together. You're gonna imagine there's an imaginary chair behind you. Sit back. And this can be quite intense because there isn't an actual chair to catch you. So it really works your thighs, your rear, your core. You can come out of this if it starts to be painful or too intense. You can and stay with that intensity and breathe. I'm going to take 2 more breaths. All right, release. Shake out your hands, shake out your body, move around a little bit. My music is brought to you today by the neighborhood weed whacker. The sounds of spring, right? All right, I'm gonna come back down onto my mat. So I'm gonna just sit down, coming out of chair pose, and I'm gonna come into boat pose. So in boat pose, hopefully you can see me. I'll keep it where it is. The more I fuss, the worse it gets. Okay, so coming into boat pose, there's a few ways you can do it. You can stay with your toes down. I'm going to show this from the side and come on to like lean back, holding on to your knees with your toes down. You can also lift your toes up and balance, and that really works the core, pulling the core in, but you may not be strong enough for that. You may not be ready for that. So if that doesn't work, bring your toes down. If you're feeling strong, if this feels good, release. And then because you're balancing, you're really building core strength here. But you can also build core strength with your legs down or holding onto your legs. It's important to use the variation that works for your body so that you can build strength and grace through yoga. Trying to stay in the picture. This is not an easy pose. All right, let's release. Let's take a little break. Come to seated, and I'm gonna stretch up and over to one side. And stretch up and over to the other side. Oops. And shake it out a little bit, and let's do more of our sun salutations from here. So I'm going to uncross my legs and come into a forward fold. And so I'm going to sway a little bit in this forward fold. And that's one of the things I like to do in yoga, is just kind of move around in weird ways and kind of flow. Some people like to hold poses. It's just what feels good for you. All right, I'm gonna come to mountain pose. Bend my knees, roll up, inhale. And standing tall, inhale, circle sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow down. One more time. Inhale, look up. And now let's come into plank pose. And I'm going to come into a modified plank because my neck has been bothering me. So I'm going to come onto my knees. You strong enough or not be having any issues to come into a full plank. Or you may be like me and today you need to modify. So I'm dropping my knees and I'm going to come all the way down to my belly. Hello. All All right, now from my belly, I'm gonna press into my hands and lift up. Inhale. Oh, this feels good, low cobra. Don't stretch so much that it hurts. Just want it to feel nice. And release. Let's come back into our plank. So you can curl your toes under and come into lifting the knees. Or like me, you can drop your knees because today I'm modifying. And I'm just gonna hold this for a little bit. You can take a break if you need to. I'm gonna try to build some core strength without pressing out my shoulders too much. All right, now I'm gonna take a break because I've done this work and come into child's pose. So taking your hips all the way back, stretch your arms forward, relax your forehead. All right, let's come back into downward facing dog, rocking forward, curling the toes under, lifting the knees up and pressing back, downward facing dog. All right, now I'm gonna do my thing again. I'm gonna walk it out, pedaling those legs. And you might be thinking, this is too easy. Like, I'm not getting sweaty at all. And that's actually true. I'm trying not to be too sweaty today in my yoga practice. This is to be gentle. But I do have some practices, if you look on my Facebook page, if this one isn't working, that are a little bit more intense and sweaty. Okay, so I'm just walking it out here. All right, I'm gonna bend my knees, inhale, and then walk back up. I'm not gonna walk all the way up because then you won't be able to see me. So I'm gonna walk up to here, step back, inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's come back into chair pose. That's a good one. Toe, heel, feet together. And then just like you're sitting in a chair, come back, pull the belly in. This is a good pose for building strength, but if you're feeling pain, come out of it. If you're feeling intensity, see if you can stay with it for a little bit. A lot of times by staying with the intensity, that's how we get stronger. But we have to know when to pull back, right? And I'm finding I could come a little lower. Don't hold your breath here. Deep breaths. And let's come out of this. Gently come out, toe, heel the feet to hips with distance. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, back to hands. Exhale your hands back to heart center. All right, let's try a different pose. Let's come into tree pose. This is a balancing pose, and balancing poses are great because they challenge our strength, our focus, but also our patience with ourselves. One of the keys to balancing is to look at something steady. Like if you looked at someone who was dancing around or at a car, that doesn't make a very good focus point for balancing. So look at one thing, pull your belly in, and then see if you can balance. Now I'm going to show you some modifications for tree pose. So the easiest modification would be to keep your foot down and use it to help you balance. And bring your hands to heart center. This is tree pose, believe it or not. If you want to make it more challenging, you can bring the foot up to the ankle, up to the calf, or because I've done this for a little while, I can bring it all the way up to the inner thigh and then balance. Find your focus and breathe. I'm gonna stretch up even more. And it's okay if your tree pose doesn't look like mine. It probably won't. All right, release. Wonderful. Whatever you did, it was good. All right, let's try the other side. Same thing. If it's hard for you to balance even on your feet, you don't have to come into tree pose. You can just come into mountain pose or a modified tree pose. Or you can join me for a little more of a challenge. Breathe. And release. Let's shake it out. And let's do a few more sun salutations. Let's see, I need to look at the time because I didn't bring a watch out here. Oh shoot, I didn't bring, my phone isn't telling me the time. All right, just a second here. I'm gonna look inside and see what time it is. 10:25. Okay, we still have lots of time. Now, if you think this is easy, you can grab onto your toe, extend your leg, and open up. And then if you're me, you'll fall. All right, let's try the other side. Okay, Dancing Shiva, part 2. Whoops, there we go. Can you see me? Okay, so let's try on the other side. So lifting up the other leg, balancing, you can stay here and just learn to focus holding on to one leg. Let's take this further. Okay, so you can also try opening up to the side and balancing. If this is easy and you have the flexibility, you can grab the foot and open up. And as you can see today, it's easier for me to balance on this side. And release. Shake it out. And let's come back into downward facing dog. So we'll transition. Hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, look up, halfway lift here, and now I'm gonna bend my knees and come into my modified plank with my knees down. Okay, I'm gonna hold this for a few breaths. And on my next breath, I'm gonna ride it all the way down onto my mat. Come all the way down. Now I'm gonna lift up into low cobra. Inhale, lift up, press into the hands. Low cobra. And press up and back to child's pose again. We're gonna take a little break. So just curl up, enjoy yourself here. All right, now that we've had a little break, let's come back into our boat pose, because this is a good way to tone our bellies. Okay, so sitting down, your version of boat pose, I'm gonna come into mine. And if this hurts, you can put a little bit of cushioning behind your back, or you could have your feet totally down. Whatever works for you. Keep breathing. And release. So I'm already ready to do a little twist here. So I'm gonna extend one leg out, the other leg is bent, and I'm gonna take one arm and then embrace that bent knee coming into a twist. All right, let's do a counter stretch to the other side. Just twist around, leaving your legs where they're at. And now let's switch sides. So bending the other knee, you're gonna extend the other leg forward, arm up, and you're just gonna twist towards that bent leg. And breathe. Feels lovely. All right, let's come into a stretch. So bringing both your bent knees towards your body, we're gonna open the knees like a book. So just gently, this is called butterfly or bound ankle stretch. Okay, and I'm pretty open, so your stretch may not look like mine. Okay, if you need to sit on something soft, that's okay. I'm gonna lean forward, not so that you can see my chest, but so that I can get a little bit deeper of a stretch. Keep breathing. And with each breath, I'm trying to see if I can relax a little bit more in this stretch. Rather than pushing deeper, how can I just let go and surrender a little bit more? All right, sitting back up, I'm gonna come into another stretch. Okay. So sitting in crisscross applesauce, I'm gonna stretch through the chest a little bit. So taking one arm up, you're gonna reach around for the middle of your back. You can take the other hand to help intensify that stretch, or you can reach up and around to open through the chest. This is a really good stretch to counteract all this sitting and hunching that we tend to do in our society. It's not that it's bad to sit or to hunch, but we need to do counteractive movements. All right, let's release and let's shake out our hands on this side, and then we're gonna do the other side. Reach up and around, and you can use the other hand to help stretch, or like me, you can create a bind. Release. Let's stretch up and over to one side. And up and over to the other side. And let's come back into tree pose. Let's practice that again. Practicing balance is really important, especially as we get older, because balance tends to become a problem as we age. All right, so standing, remember to find your focus, hands to heart center, and just pick either leg And you can bring that foot up to the place where you feel comfortable. Find a focus and then hold your pose as best as you can. All right, let's release on this side. Let it go, physically and emotionally. Let's try the other side. I'm going to show a modified on this side. I'm just going to bring my foot to my ankle. And release. All right, let's try a pose called Dancer. Not Dancing Shiva, this is called Dancer. Now to do Dancer, you're gonna take one arm up and you're gonna balance on that same leg, and then the other foot, you're gonna reach around and grab that foot, and you might find yourself unsteady because this is balancing. If this is a challenge, just stay here, or you can grab onto the wall or use something to help you balance. I'm gonna grab onto a hammock here. Okay, so holding on, if you like, you can come stretch deeper into this pose. I'm totally cheating. I'm actually using a hammock to balance here. And release. Shake it out. Okay, the other side I'm going to try without using any kind of props. So arm up, balance. This is my right leg, and I'm going to reach around for the inside of my left foot. And then here I try to find my bearings, find a spot, and press the foot into the hand. And release. All right, what should we do next? I think I'm gonna do a warrior pose. So stepping forward with my left foot, I'm gonna step my right leg back and bring the back foot down, and then stretch up into warrior one. Shoulders down and breathe. Are you seeing a pattern here? You breathe. This is a wonderful all-around pose for strengthening, but it's also a balance pose. All right, release the arms, and I'm just gonna step up back into mountain pose, and then I'm gonna come into warrior one on the other side. Arms up, shoulders down. I'm gonna step forward with my right leg and step my left leg back. Back foot's at an angle, shoulders down, hips are forward. And breathe. Sorry, I have allergies. Step back into mountain pose. I'm going to come into a forward fold. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to come back into chair pose. Toe heel the feet together and bring those hips back. And breathe. Shoulders down. Even though you're holding the pose, there's kind of a relaxation element too. You want the shoulders down. You want to be comfortable but working. All right, now from chair pose, we're gonna transition to warrior one. So my legs are already bent. I'm gonna bring my left foot forward and step back, and then sweep my arms up. Now I'm in warrior one. And now I'm gonna transition back to chair pose. So from here, I'm gonna step my right foot forward, step my left foot back, and come back into chair pose. And I'm going to breathe. All right, let's come into warrior one on the other side. So stepping forward with my right foot, I'm gonna step back with my left leg and sweep my arms up and bring my shoulders down. All right, now coming from warrior one, we're gonna come back into chair pose. And go. Keep breathing. Relax your toes, relax your shoulders, pull your belly in. Now it's a lot to think about. And should we come back into warrior one? Let's try it again. Left foot, step back with the right foot, stretch the arms up, shoulders down. And let's come back into chair pose. Step forward, hips back and down, and breathe. All right, one more time on the other side. Step forward with the right foot and back with the left. Circle, sweep the arms up, shoulders down, hips forward, and breathe. And let's release and make our way to child's pose. So I'm gonna do this in a fancy way. I'm gonna bring my hands all the way down, step back, rock forward. I'm gonna come into my modified plank with the knees down. I'm gonna hold that plank, and then I'm gonna take a deep breath in, and then I'm gonna ride that breath all the way down onto my belly. Oh, I love being on my belly. All right, I'm gonna bend my knees. You can't really see here, but I'm windshield wipering my feet back and forth. And then after this, we're gonna come into child's pose, I promise. All right, bringing the feet down. Oops, excuse me, runny nose. So I am going to press up and back to child's pose from here. All right, you stay in child's pose. I just need to check really quick what the time is so that I don't end too late, because I forgot to bring my tripod, and I also forgot to bring a watch out. Oh, it's getting close to time for us to come into Shavasana, or corpse pose, but not yet. Just a couple more things here. Okay. I hope I'm not making you dizzy with my camera work. Okay, I'm gonna set you right there. And I'm gonna come into a seated pose, okay? I'm going to do something self-indulgent, but not something that'll get me in trouble. So I am going to take one of my feet and give myself a little massage. So it doesn't feel as good as when somebody else gives you a massage, but it's still kind of nice. I find that when I show little acts of love, and because believe it or not, I don't always love myself completely. I'm not completely self-actualized, even though I have the gall to teach yoga. I actually struggle like every other human being with self-esteem. And I found one of the best ways for me to help work on my self-esteem is just to show myself love in little ways. And one of my favorite ways is to rub my own feet. Just taking care of yourself can be a start to building a better relationship with yourself. And at first, when you start to do self-care, you start to think, oh, that's so selfish. That's kind of the point of self-care, is that it's selfish. It's supposed to be selfish because you deserve it. You deserve a foot rub right now. All right, now I'm gonna take this leg. I'm done with my little foot rub, even though I could go on for longer. And I'm going to cradle my knee in my hand and hold the foot that I just massaged in the opposite hand. And I'm just gonna rock this foot. And I like this movement because it opens up the hip, but it also reminds me of cradling a baby. And it's, to me, a beautiful symbol of self-care, because we kind of take that moment to be selfish, if you will, to show ourselves care and concern. And when we do that, then we're able to show care and concern and love for others. Because if you're superhuman, then you never have to stop and care for yourself ever, because you're superhuman. But most of us need to stop and check in and show our bodies love, or it kind of doesn't work out for us. All right, let's release this leg. And before we go to the other side, I want to show you a move. I've shown you this before in other yoga things, but I really like this. Bend your knees, and we're going to just move those knees from side to side and kind of giving your buns a massage. But please don't post on Facebook. I love this yoga, like especially how you give yourself butt massages on Facebook. Because people might get the wrong idea. Okay. Yeah, this is nice. Let's get the other foot now, because we don't want it to be jealous. Okay, so taking the other foot, I'm just going to take this foot and give myself a massage. And I'm not going to tell you how to give yourself a massage, because what feels good to me may not be what feels good to you. But I'm guessing you can probably figure it out. All right, now let's cradle that other leg and give it a little bit of love and treat it like a baby. So taking the knee in that same arm, you're going to cradle and then grab the foot. And you may not be able to do this, and if you can't, don't beat yourself up. supposed to be nice. And then you're just going to cradle this leg and just rock it like a baby. And then just experience what that's like for you. Do you like this pose? Do you not like it? There's no right or wrong answer. I love this pose though. All right, let's release this, and now we're gonna come to our final resting pose. So I'm moving the camera here. We're gonna come all the way back, and I'm taking one of my rolled up towels, and I'm gonna put it underneath my neck, and I'm just going to film myself from here. You can lay back down on your mat or on your carpet if it feels good, or on your bed. You can bend your knees if you need to, but just find a comfortable position. If you're 8 months pregnant, you may want to lay on your side, okay? So just find a position that's comfortable for you. And you're just gonna breathe. For me, one of the hardest poses in yoga is this one, believe it or not, because it's hard for me to just lie still and breathe, as easy as that should be. And you stay in Shavasana. I'm gonna go check the time to make sure I'm not going over. Okay. 10:51. So I'm gonna sit here and actually watch the clock so I don't go over. But you stay if you can, laying down and breathing. Still with me? All right, why don't you gently come out of the pose. You can curl yourself up in a ball, pull your knees to your chest, or you can just roll over onto your side. And I'm gonna roll over onto my side too, here in my living room. Oh, looks like I need to vacuum. And just breathe. There's a million things you could be doing right now, but thanks for spending this time with me and just breathing and taking care of yourself. That's my son laughing in the background. All right, let's gently come out of this, come to a seated position, and now we're unfortunately gonna say goodbye because I need to vacuum. So come into a seated position, bring your hands to heart center. That's my son Noah. your thumbs to forehead center, and namaste. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed this practice, you're welcome to leave a comment or put like. If you didn't enjoy it, you can make a comment if you want. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me, and those of you who are far away, I hope to see you again soon. I miss you. Mwah. Bye.